Hi everyone and welcome to this short guide on how to get the Death from Above trophy in the recently released Battlefield 5. To get this trophy you need to destroy 5 manned stationary weapons using an airplane. And for most players this is probably the final task standing between you and your Platinum trophy. So far there's not really an easy way to do it, but don't worry, I'm a terrible pilot and if I manage to get it done, then so can you. Anyway, let's get to it. The first thing I did before going for this trophy was to switch my pilot button settings from default to veteran. It's a personal preference, but if you feel like you're struggling too much with the default settings, give it a try, it might help. Now stationary weapons include everything from emplaced machine guns like the Vickers MG, field guns like the Pak 40 and of course anti-air guns like the Flak 38. Towerable emplacements like the British 6-pounder do count as well, but we'll be focusing on anti-air guns for this guide as it's more or less the obvious choice and they're also the easiest to spot from high above. When it comes to planes, it doesn't really matter which one you pick, but it should be one that comes with bombs equipped for obvious reasons. You can check the loadout of a plane by looking at the 3 symbols underneath the selected plane from the deployment screen, like here. This one has bombs, this one doesn't. The Blenheim Mark 1F on the British side as well as the Stuka B1 on the German side both come with bombs equipped from the start, you don't have to unlock them first. And I prefer the Stuka because it's a bit faster and feels more responsive and has that awesome siren. But it really comes down to personal preference. Once you're all set on a map and game mode, got your plane and spawned into the match, my main problem when going for this trophy was that I had a very hard time seeing the anti-air guns on the ground when I was flying up above. And even if you know where they are, it's still hard to see if they are actually manned or not. So after a while I developed the habit of baiting the enemy into revealing their positions. I would grab my plane and fly over an area I suspected to contain both the enemy as well as an anti-air gun in hopes they would notice me and open fire. Once that happened, I'd quickly switch to the chase view in third person, which is a very handy tool to locate enemies that are shooting at you, both airborne and on the ground. Here's a short example what I mean. I know there's a stationary weapon somewhere around that flag, but I don't know if anyone's actually using it. So I casually fly over and sure enough, someone starts firing at me. Now I know the thing is in use, briefly switch to the chase view to confirm its location. And then start my ascent to return. This is also a good time to repair possible damage taken by your plane. On my way back, the anti-air gun starts firing once again, so now it's pretty much just a matter of aligning my target circles with the origin of the shots, drop the payload and hope for the best. Here's another example of this tactic, if you wanna call it that, from Fjell 652, the map with the most airplane spawns at the moment, although they feel the least useful given the layout of the map. Again I fly quite low on purpose to draw out potential targets when one of them takes the bait. A quick view in the back mirror for confirmation and it's time to turn around. The enemy keeps shooting at my plane, which gives me a good visual marker where to drop my bombs and... there you go, another one down. It is important that you really destroy the weapon, not just kill the enemy soldier. The game will show a stationary weapon destroyed bonus when you're successful. And also don't forget to pull up your plane before you crash into the ground. Here are some additional hints that might help you as well. Number 1. At the time of making this video, airplanes become selectable exactly 30 seconds after a round has started. So if you want to get into a plane right from the start, wait those extra few seconds. Number 2. If you see these puffy black clouds in the sky, it means an anti-air gun has recently been shot at that location. Number 3. If you hear these sounds, that's an anti-air gun shooting at your location. Number 4. If you also see these orange colored tracers, that's where the shots are coming from. Also, while you can do this trophy on pretty much every map that has both planes and ground forces in them, I found it to be much easier while playing Breakthrough than traditional Conquest. The reason for this is that on Breakthrough, the enemy usually only holds 2 active objectives, sometimes even just a single one if your team already captured the other one. So the enemy forces are much more focused around these 1 or 2 objectives, highly increasing the probability that someone will hop onto an anti-air gun to fend off your bombing runs. Whereas during Conquest, the enemy team is much more spread out over the 5, 6, sometimes 7 different objectives, and also very rarely stays behind to fortify and defend the captured objective, let alone jump into an anti-air gun. And that's about it. I know the trophy might seem daunting at first, especially if you're not that good of a pilot, but with a little bit of practice and by keeping these tips in mind, I'm pretty confident you'll eventually get the hang of it and the trophy shall be yours. So thanks for watching, have fun getting your trophy and take care on the battlefield.